I didn't know that Lynette needed dove feathers. There was an entire dove's worth of feathers laying in my yard yesterday. This is from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 42. But here is my servant, the one I uphold, my chosen, who brings me delight. I've put my spirit upon him. He will bring justice to the nations. Won't cry out or shout aloud or make his voice heard in public. This one won't break a bruised reed, won't extinguish a faint wick. But he will surely bring justice. He won't be extinguished or broken until he has established justice in the land. The coastlands await his teaching. God the Lord says, the one who created the heavens, the one who stretched them out, the one who spread out the earth and its offspring, the one who gave breath to its people and life to those who walk on it, I, the Lord, have called you for good reason. I will grasp your hand and guard you and give you as a covenant to the people, as a light to the nations. To open blind eyes, to lead the prisoners from darkness, and those who sit in darkness from the dungeon. I am the Lord God. That is my name. I don't hand out my glory to others or my praise to idols. The things announced in the past, look, they've already happened. But I'm declaring new things before they even appear. I will tell you about them. The word of life for this day. Water. We're all about water today, and water can be so paradoxical. Water can cleanse, and it can make things dirty. It can divide peoples and nations and bring them together, different than what they are apart. And there is so much that depends on this substance. So today I invite you to hold these images in your thoughts as I describe them, images about water. Last May, there were floods in northeastern Oklahoma, from Sand Springs down to Weber's Falls. And the water sat for over a week without going down, flooding houses and businesses, saturating all of the walls, the wood, everything that was there. The homes and businesses are still today, many of them, covered with dry mud, with mold and mildew because of water. And so our disaster relief efforts are still going on in that area after all this time. But you know, the cleaning up of such a thing, that the water brought the dirt in, it takes water to clean it up, doesn't it? Cleaning most anything is done with water. You hose it down, you take a shower, you get in a tub, you dunk things in water to clean them. All these cleansing methods depended on water. Water also divides people. Rivers, oceans, lakes are often used to delineate land so that we know that we are here and they are there. It's a sign of separation and distinction. Look at the Red River. I mean, aren't we so glad that it separates Texas? But then there's also the Rio Grande, a river that delineates what is us and what is Our mission team went down to the U.S.-Mexico border last June. We went out to the place where the Rio Grande empties into the Gulf of Mexico. We wanted to see what it actually looked like right there. And that's it. This is a picture of that location. And as you look at it, those birds are standing in Texas, and the pickup and the people who are fishing and having a picnic on the beach, those people are in Mexico. Just a stone's throw away. But this dividing water is there and is of great significance these days. They are so close, yet so far away. And I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Rivers and oceans and lakes have transported people for 10,000 years. It's, the oldest boats that have been discovered are about 10,000 years old. And so water was a way of connecting people, of getting people to one another. And cities developed right on coastlines, right where people could come together. Diverse peoples could come together because there was water there to transport them by boat. And so these same things that were the dividing lines also brought people together, diverse people together, brought explorers to new lands. People escaped from places. People wandered to new places in the water. And in the Bible, whenever we read about Jesus getting in a boat, he's almost always, it's said to be crossing over. He's going over to a different place, to a different land, to a different culture, a different kind of people than where he's been. And so that's one of those keys we look for in reading about the travels of Jesus. If he gets in a boat and he crosses over, he's going to some people who are different. Diversities coming together at the edge of the water. And water is life, and it is death. There's a documentary about the flow of human migration and people who are trying to escape and immigrate to other places. It's called Human Flow. It's available for free on all of your streaming services, and I really recommend it. It gives a beautiful rendition of what it looks like as people have gotten in boats to go to other places for safety, and how some of them made it, and some of them the escape was such peril that they didn't survive it. And so water is life and it is death. We are so dependent upon water right now. The images from Australia, the fires are just right in the front of our minds. And we've seen pictures, videos of animals desperate for water coming up to people, wild animals coming up to people because they need water. And we hear about people having fled to the beach because that's a place where the fire couldn't get to them, at the edge of the water. And so we see again that all humanity, all life on earth is dependent upon water. So water as a symbol is so ambiguous. I mean, it's this and it's this. And because it is so ambiguous, it is rightly at the center of our faith practices, baptism. The way we enter into the faith, baptism. And so we claim this paradoxical substance as part of our paradoxical lives. Isaiah 40 42 that I read a moment ago is part of what's called the servant song, a description of Messiah, but it's also quoted at Jesus' baptism. Here is my servant, the one I uphold, my chosen, who brings me delight. Those are words from the baptism here in Isaiah. And it goes on to describe the one who brings justice. And what it says about this one is, a bruised reed he will not break, a dimly burning wick he will not extinguish. Think about those images. A bruised reed, or think of the reeds in the water. A bruised reed is one that has been bent over but not broken off. And a dimly burning wick is barely hanging on. And these are things that we can relate to. We know people who are bruised reeds, who are dimly burning wicks. We may be people who are bruised reeds, dimly burning wicks. And then the passage in Isaiah changes form. Instead of saying, here, this one who's my servant is going to do this, it says, I'm talking to you. Is it still talking to him, or is it now talking to us, the readers? I have called you as a light to the nations, to open people's eyes, to set prisoners free, a light in the darkness. I have called you. Those who follow this servant have a job to do. And we are reminded of that when we remember our baptism on a day like today. So St. Stephen's, we have a tradition of Shell Sunday, and people coming forward, touching the water and taking a shell as a remembrance of your inclusion into the body, a remembrance of baptism. But today, all of the shells we have here, our mission team picked up last June when we were down there at that place. It's on the front of your bulletin. There where the waters come together and the nations are divided. We picked up these shells there. These are a lot bigger than what we usually have because, they're from Texas. But I invite you, when you come, to touch the water in one of these shells, to think of the people who are divided by that place, by that river, divided from us. People who are our family, our human family, that are pushed away in that place. They are people who are vulnerable and in peril. They are bruised reeds, bent but not broken. And they are dimly burning wicks, barely holding on. The servant that we follow does not run roughshod, does not harm these bruised reeds, these dimly burning wicks, but instead treats them gently, treasures these ones. And so should all of those who follow him, who touch the life-giving and values-defining water at the center